One night, Sarah Vargas was filming herself in her bathroom mirror when she started hearing strange noises from the apartment next door. The sounds kept getting louder and more worrying, and she kept recording, not knowing she would capture something truly out of the ordinary. As night fell, frightening screams broke the peace in the neighborhood. Sarah realized something serious was happening in the apartment next to hers. The police arrived while neighbors gathered in the street, thinking they were dealing with a fight between residents. But this idea quickly changed when one of the officers, now inside the apartment, called out through the window, asking if anyone could lend them a rosary.
Obviamente como que llamaron a alguien, llamaron a una monja para que les ayudara.
They later discovered that two young women had been using a Ouija board. During their session, one of them started behaving very strangely, as if something evil had taken control of her.
Chica empezó como a vomitar tierra, como a vomitar oscuro.
Witnesses reported that she began throwing up a dark substance that looked like dirt. The police could only confirm what they had seen and concluded that something supernatural appeared to be affecting the young woman. According to Sarah, the disturbing screams continued throughout the night before finally coming to an end. The events left both the people living nearby and the local police deeply troubled. The case was documented as what appeared to be an exorcism taking place, as they couldn't find any normal explanation for what they had witnessed. User Raphael445 has shared the following surveillance footage on Reddit. He explains that one night his uncle saw two men appearing out of nowhere right outside their property, which was reason enough for him to get outside and tell them that his property was out of limits for them. What was a bit strange though is the fact that these men did not move once after they had appeared, and they could only be seen for certain moments before they were gone again. Sounds strange. Let's take a look. And this is the moment when his uncle is talking to these two guys, but they don't react, which is really odd. Clearly looks like there's two men standing, doesn't it? But let's think rationally. What else could that be? Some people say that it just could be some regular shadows, but where would that light come from? And it's pretty suspicious that they would disappear once the flashlight hits them. What is your explanation for that? The following video was supposedly captured by a tourist on vacation who was exploring a local temple that day. While just a few steps away from the location, he captured something quite strange right next to a statue. Some people say that this was possibly a spirit that manifested, and that stands in relation with the temple nearby. Could this be so? If that's not the case, maybe we just became witness to a strange camera occurrence. Perhaps even an artifact, who can say? The following is another video which was uploaded by a Reddit user to the paranormal section. He found something really odd unfolding in one of the latest episodes of the show American Pickers. He states, "I noticed something really odd in season 22, episode 12. The team is scavenging through an unused building and there appears to be a figure which you can barely see in the original episode. It's much clearer on my phone recording though. It looks like a ghost walking on the right side of the screen, and I can confidently say that it was not a team member."
Get to the top of the stairs. Holy cow.
It does look a bit strange, and I couldn't fully say what exactly it is. Can you? If it wasn't a member of the team, as Ronan states, was it a ghost? I mean, it is quite weird that this person is appearing out of the pitch darkness, wouldn't you say? Let me hear what you think. Mohammed has uploaded the following video, which turned out to be quite interesting. He works construction and states that he had seen quite a few strange things over the past years. The following night, he was one of the only people preparing a new construction site close to an old mine when he noticed something unusual in the distance. We can clearly see a terrifying shadow figure walking by. Mohammed states that this certainly wasn't a colleague of his, or a person related to the construction site in any way. He also mentions that this entity is not the only one appearing near the mine. They claim to have witnessed a floating woman that made horrifying crying noises. Pretty strange to say the least. I have no idea what's going on here. Perhaps it is a shadow being that was captured here. The next recordings were shared by Maximum Disclosure. The man states that a lot of paranormal events have been unfolding in their house. In particular, there seemed to be a lot of nightly activity. They could hear somebody walking up the staircase at night. The stomps were so loud at times that they decided to install a security camera on the second floor to see what was going on there. Something strange is going on in this video. It's as if a shadow is visible at the bottom of the stairs. Really mysterious, right? On another recording, it appears that an object is being moved at the bottom of the stairs. It was in the middle of the night and nobody was awake at the time. The family believes that it was the doing of an unseen entity. Could this be so? It is pretty odd though, whatever it was. During a routine night patrol, a night officer was stationed at an abandoned hospital undergoing renovations. The facility had a concerning history of unexplained events, which prompted management to maintain security presence despite the closure. What transpired during his shift would leave a lasting impression. While conducting his rounds through the darkened corridors, the officer began hearing distinct crying sounds echoing through the empty building. As he investigated the source of these unsettling noises, his equipment captured something unexpected. Given that the officer had confirmed he was alone in the building and all entry points were secured, the presence of this shadow raised serious questions. The evidence he gathered that night suggested something beyond ordinary explanation. His footage showed a distinct dark shape moving through the hallway, though there was no apparent source for such a manifestation. The officer's documentation of the event, including time-stamped recordings and his written report, provided compelling evidence that something unusual had occurred in the vacant hospital. Was it a paranormal incident, perhaps? The hospital security team shared footage of something unsettling. After a young patient had died earlier that day, their cameras picked up what looked like the shadow of a small boy. The strange part was that this shadow appeared next to the bed of another boy who was just recovering from surgery. The security recording shows this dark figure standing still by the recovering patient's bed. What makes this even more concerning is hospital staff walking through this eerie shadow. The fact that this happened right after another child had passed away in the hospital raised questions about whether this could have been some kind of visit from beyond. The following video was captured by Iron City Paranormal during an investigation in the supposedly haunted North Country Brewing Pub in Slippery Rock, PA. They had set up several trail cameras this night in different corners of the old pub. Those cameras record for 11 seconds whenever they detect motion, the uploader states. Apparently, in this short clip, we can see something opening the door in the background. The team is certain that it wasn't any of their members opening the door, but are we maybe seeing a head here? I mean, how else could we explain this phenomenon? Pretty mysterious. User of a Jack has shared the following capture with the paranormal community. He states, "I'm a member of Iron City Paranormal out of Pittsburgh and wanted to share this quick clip we caught from our investigation back in October at Greenville Manor. Needless to say, no one in our party was even close to the proper size to pull this off themselves." They believe this to be a shadow arm, which was perhaps waving at the team. Or some other shadowy figure. Interesting for sure, since nobody else was back there. What else could it have been? Now we'll check out the security footage of Claudia White, who has shared an eerie creature, or apparition for that matter, with her viewers. She states, "Nightcrawler-looking being captured on my mother's CCTV in Montana, 20 seconds mark in the top right corner. This video was captured on a home surveillance system at 9:45 p.m. The figure appears in the top right corner, along with sounds that seem to match a pig or some kind of mammal." Sounds intriguing. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we see the mysterious creature entering the screen, and I'm sure you also have heard these pig-like noises. But what is it? It looks like it's walking on all fours. Maybe it is the infamous Nightcrawler. Certainly looks pretty suspicious. What do you guys think? If it's not a prank, it might be something from another realm. This video was recorded by another nightly driver who states that he was just traveling through a rural area close to his hometown. He was on his way home after a late shift and had never seen or captured anything out of the ordinary on his nightly trips. His dash cam, however, captured quite the creepy encounter tonight. His camera made this incident look like a floating sheet that was spooking him out here, but based on his reports, he saw it as a greyish semi-transparent object that was floating in the middle of the road and trying to grab the car, as weird as this sounds. When looking into the mirror, he couldn't see anything though, and brushed it off at first, as he maybe just having imagined it. But after reviewing the dashcam recording, he was actually quite puzzled. Who knows what exactly this sheet thing was? Mary has sent the following video. She tells me, "My friend and her 1-year-old daughter were in my bathroom when the little girl started pointing and talking to something in the corner that neither her mother nor I could see. So that's when I decided to open up my TikTok app and apply the ripple glitter effect. There seems to be a shadow of an arm in the curtain behind my friend. Right before that, I can see some sort of black fly across the screen.
What? What?
Mary didn't tell me if there was any more paranormal activity unfolding in their home, but nobody could explain these sightings this evening. Mysterious. The following video was captured by a tourist who was on an exciting trip through Europe. On the following day, he was preparing to visit an ancient cave in Hallstatt, Austria. He states that the cave is hundreds of millions of years old and that it lies 10,000 feet above the sea level. And it all started out as a beautiful venture, lots of ancient glaciers and rock formations. However, a few hours into his expedition, he noticed something strange, seemingly crawling on the ceiling. A pale figure can be seen climbing on the ceiling without any safety features. The man believes that he might have either captured a cryptid or another mysterious creature here. Could that be so? If not, what else could it be? Maybe a ghost? Some commenters state that this could actually be a cave spirit. Let me hear what you guys think. After patrolling an empty warehouse for the last couple of nights, this man, who was working night security, had the feeling that something had followed him home. He was living alone and had been experiencing strange events, leading him to document everything. At 4 a.m., while doing tasks at home, he started hearing sounds from the basement.
Alright, so that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Just me. Ain't the first time I heard this shit either.
It seemed like someone or something was knocking insistently on the basement door. The man decided to avoid the door, thinking it best to ignore whatever unknown thing was there. But the strange activity came back, this time in another part of the house.
That wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while, I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I hear the shit every night. Okay, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this mother here. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least.
The man showed there was no one in the bathroom, but what's creepy is that while he was inside, the shower curtain moved right after he turned to leave. But this wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. 2 nights later, something else happened.
You guys are in luck. You wanted it, right? There it is. Ain't me knocking on. Ain't nobody down here, right? I can hear it. Now, you guys are gonna say, oh, it's somebody in there. It's an animal. Nope. Let's go. So who's down here? Nobody. Nobody down here? Nobody downstairs?
Once again, it started with a really odd noise. The basement was empty, but just as he stopped on the stairs, footsteps could be heard. Pretty eerie. He still had no idea what could have caused this. Many believe a strange presence might be trapped in the house, feeding off this man's emotional and psychic energy. Maybe an evil entity had attached itself to him on his nightly shifts. Let's hope that he figures out a way to deal with that in the future. The following video was shared by Pasillo Infinito, and it features a not further known paranormal enthusiast that is experiencing some really odd activity in his home. Tonight in particular, a lot of stuff seemed to be happening around his closet, and this was when he captured the following.
What the? What is that? What the?
Some say that he captured the spirit of a boy here. Could this be possible? It's really weird though, since the temperature seemed to drop and rise whenever he was pointing towards this being. Do you think this man is being haunted by a lost soul? Now to another really odd recording, which was captured by a bicycle rider one night, as he was just about to leave a parking garage in the midst of night. After completing his shift, the garage is located in South America. There's no way for ordinary people to enter the garage, since it is restricted to employees only. And the young driver tells us that he heard some creepy noises stemming from the same parking level he was located on. As the young man seems to be fiddling around with his light, it would appear that the shape of a lady can be seen in the distance, casually strolling through the parking garage, which should be impossible. The driver walked around the garage level for a bit, but couldn't find anybody, so he believes that this could actually be a spirit, or something else. The following video comes from Japan and features a few paranormal investigators walking through a thick forest with an old abandoned cabin. The investigators are seen peeking through the windows and around the side of the house. Nothing strange really. But after getting home and checking the footage, they thought to have noticed something. They slowed the footage down and noticed something truly terrifying. Something appears to be peeking out of this old hut. Is it a woman? A homeless person, perhaps? The uploader states that he, however, thinks that we are seeing a spirit here. Do you think that could be so? Unsettling. This video stems from South America and was uploaded by a concerned person. Apparently, paranormal events are nothing too unusual in this area. But what happened today was new. The person recording noticed the rocking chair in front of their home starting to move. But then there was something more unsettling that was visible in the reflection of the television. They believe that a shadow being from another dimension could have been responsible for this. Is this possible? Are we seeing a shape-shifting manifestation of something that doesn't stem from our world? Who can say? This recording was taken on a highway. A motorcyclist states that he was heading back home and decided to take a toll road to get there a bit faster, but something quite curious caught his attention on the way home. It was around 10:51 p.m. and the area seemed completely deserted. After about 30 minutes of riding, he notices something quite strange in the distance, something that sent chills down his spine. A mysterious woman is seen walking on the right side of that highway. It is uncertain where she was heading. The driver also states that it was quite eerie how she was moving her arms. Apparently, he felt a chill when passing her by and decided to get out of there as fast as he could. Many people who watched this recording commented that it could possibly be the spirit of someone who may have lost their life in this place, or perhaps a person with a mental illness, because who in their right mind would be walking on a road like that, completely alone? Certainly strange. The next video was forwarded by Mania Trent, and it is said that in the following clip, a security camera in the Broadway Palace apartment complex in Los Angeles might have caught an actual ghost. User Pooperness has shared the following video. Apparently the user, who works as a security officer, noticed something really strange on one of the lower security cameras. In his own words, he tries to explain what he saw that night. I recorded this from the CCTV at my job, and they fired me for it. I usually don't believe in ghosts, but this video is creepy. I recorded it around midnight on March 12th. It does look a bit strange, doesn't it? Of course you never know if it wasn't an insect or something, but many people commented on the fact that this ghost boy, or whatever it was, seemed to be walking towards the corner and then just vanished, which is really strange, wouldn't you agree? Are we looking at a paranormal incident here, or what was going on that night? The next video was captured by a young woman named Lisa. She states that she was out on a walk with her dogs today and that she saw a weird black object appear out of thin air. She didn't think much of it at first, since it disappeared shortly after that. However, after getting back from her walk and entering her car again, it popped up once more in the distance. This time the woman recorded it. She decided to walk towards this thing, so together with her dog, she slowly approached it as it was making its way further into the forest. Weirdly enough, the woman states that it kept its distance until it vanished out of sight. But ever since she felt as if she's being followed by something. Very strange encounter for sure. Talia has sent the following video, which she had found, posted by user Sandra Fulton Hamilton John. She uploaded it on her profile and was quite scared to say the least. The post reads as follows. This video is of our deaf friend Jack talking on video chat to his girlfriend. This is proof that spirits do exist. We had paranormal activities come to the house. We had it analyzed and it is very creepy. The house and everything around it in that particular area of Lumberton has a lot of supernatural activity going on around it. Sounds intriguing. Let's take a look. A shadow figure is passing by behind Jack's shoulders in an inhumane speed, and he obviously didn't notice it at the time. I have seen several of these fast-moving shadow incidents, and have to say that many of them seem legit. Of course, these events could still be staged, but this particular one, I would give the benefit of the doubt. How about you? A really unsettling video. This is another cave recording, which was captured on a trip that a group of friends undertook many years ago. Local legends are speaking of strange specters and apparitions that can be seen in there, but unfortunately the group was unlucky. At least that's what they thought at first. After analyzing the footage, they noticed that there was an eerie figure. Some do claim to see a woman in a dress, possibly a spirit from another time. Does this sound plausible? Of course, the bad quality due to the age of the footage doesn't really help answering that question for us. But it does make one wonder, did nobody notice that thing at the time? Really creepy. Tommy has sent me the next video, and it features a young boy who is fooling around in the living room of his family. Apparently, he only wanted to record a video for his friends, but something else was captured as well. Is this the spirit of a relative? Maybe just a person who was in the house at the time? Was the boy trying to mislead us here? Or does something more mysterious lie behind this video? The following incident has been shared by Denat Aminov. He states that something really strange happened one night as he was staying at his sister's house. He wrote, "The craziest thing just happened to me. Woke up at around 3 AM from an annoying lamplight. This was filmed on an iPhone X. No other light sources were turned on in the room. And this is not a reflection. That was so surreal and weird." It is really odd how this table light seems to be turned on in the mirror's reflection. Could this be happening in another dimension at this time? Some people speculate this to be the case. For reference, he took 2 pictures in the morning. And he filmed again the following evening. No strangeness seemed to be unfolding this time. However, somebody noticed that something else was with him the night prior, something that was sitting under the desk. Could this be an entity? People say it almost looks a bit demonic, very creepy, whatever it was. What do you think happened here that night? Certainly a night to remember for him.